And a very good evening, everyone. I'm David Fordham, and welcome to the Parramatta Stadium for Commonwealth Bank Cup number 13. Tonight's cup final is a classic confrontation of two champion schools. Keebra High from Queensland playing in their first ever cup final, and their opponents tonight, Patrician Brothers Fairfield, who have now reached 7 cup finals, and they've won on 4 occasions. Just have a look at that impressive performance going back to their first ever cup final in 1975. It was won by the boys from Fairfield. Can they do it again tonight? I'm sure that this Keebra Park side, with all their support, 3 busloads down from Queensland to support their side tonight, would like to go away with a victory to become the first Queensland side, or only the third in history of the National Panasonic Cup to have reached a final, and the first ever from Queensland if they can go away successful tonight. So the stage is set for the Commonwealth Bank Cup final for 1987, and it's Robert Hollindale to place the ball on the halfway line and to get this cup final underway. An interesting selection in the front row, wearing number 11 tonight, Jamie Jackson. We see the Sean Daly and Michael Wise, who have alternated in that prop forward role with Dallas Kelly in the front row, both sitting on the bench tonight, and Jamie Jackson makes a long overdue return from injury, Graham, and I believe a player, an outstanding player to watch tonight.
Yes, well, as they kick off here in the 87 Commonwealth Bank Cup final, he will be an important player because, as I said, size is important, but also important in the early stages here are nerves, and I'll be looking for both sides very early on in the piece to ensure that their kicking game is in order and get out of their own territory.
So David Daines goes into dummy half. It goes out through Trimboli, and there's the not a confident start by the prop forward, Jamie Jackson.
First man in's got to go low, one man over the top to really tidy him up.
Well, tonight we're again making the decision on the Player of the Year for 1987. At this point, and any number of players, and these two sides could take it out. We'll come back to that again in a moment as Kyle White's taken in the tackle just outside the 22. David Daines out to Sarkissian in turn for Weston, beat the tackle. Finally wrestled to the ground by Hearn, the lock forward. That's Trimboli. Attempted drop goal. It's got the distance. It looks good. Referee Cooley says it's okay. And Fairfield gain a 1-point advantage through the drop goal by Ivan Trimboli. It's a soccer scoreline here at Parramatta Stadium. Kyle White showing the ball, busted through one, stood in the tackle, got the support of Daines. He struggled through one and took play inside the 22. Final tackle for Fairfield. Weston. There's the kick through, pressure on Tuivasa. Oh, he's lost it. Here's a chance. It's a try. Dallas Kelly comes up with the 4-pointer just 3 minutes before the half-time break, and a 5-0 lead to Patrician Brothers Fairfield.
Well, it was virtually wasn't on the kick. We saw Bolger put the ball into the air. There was no real pressure on Tuivasa here. Players weren't within 5 metres of him at the time, and Dallas Kelly, who's been having a big first half for Patrician Brothers Fairfield, a very simple mistake by the winger. Again, you'll notice that the defence, whilst there was 4 and 5 players coming down, they weren't within 5 metres at the time. Dallas Kelly picked up the mistake, towed it ahead. Good thinking by the front rower, and now a sensational start for Fairfield.
So Graham nicknamed this man Joe Cool, very much like Mike Eden. He places the ball and just comes back, moves in. He's kicked it. What a great kick. Oh, a beauty. It's 7-0 in favour of Patrician Brothers Fairfield.
Big Stevie Roach, man out injured for Balmain early on in the first round, due to make a comeback very shortly, looking on in this Commonwealth Bank Cup final as we see a penalty right in front of the posts go to Fairfield for incorrect playing of the ball, and an enormous opportunity for Ivan Trimboli.
Graham, what a place to give away a penalty when you're trailing by 7 points to 0 and only 27 minutes of play left in the cup final.
And it's a tough scoreline there in the form of penalties too for this Keebra Park High side. Fairfield 6 penalties to 2, and the scrum's just shading in the favour of Keebra 4-3.
Well, there's a great shot from the cherry picker, Ivan Trimboli, 1 from 1, and what a kick it was. Right from this western touchline to convert the try of Dallas Kelly just before half-time. He's also dropped a field goal. But gee, I just wonder if this could put Keebra Park out of reach if this is successful. Well, the flags go up. It's a 9-point lead now to Patrician Brothers Fairfield, playing in their 7th cup final. They've already won 4 and maybe on the road to their 5th success. And Patrician Brothers Fairfield with a 9-point lead in possession of the ball inside Keebra Park's end of the ground. They move it swiftly across the line. Suley now with space. He's up towards the 22. Still going. Pass back in field. to his brother, Sean Sooley, with the try that will win the cup final. I tell you what, Graham, I think there may be some doubt down this touchline. Let's have a look at it in replay. But the try has been awarded.
Well, it's a reward also for the way they've played the game. Mick Harder said before the final tonight that they were going to spread the ball out wide and take these guys on out in the back line. We see the ball come out wide to Sooley, very, very close to the touchline. Did he go in touch on that last step? I don't think so. Great ball back inside to Robertson, and another great ball back inside to Sean Sooley, and he's going to rub it in here and put it right underneath the black dot. There's no kicker in Trimboli to come back. This head-on shot might show it even more clearly. This is the step coming up right now. No, he's in touch. He keeps on going downfield. Great ball back inside. Plenty of support from both the centre combination of Robertson, and eventually Big Brother goes running around underneath the black dot. Sean Sooley.
And now Steve Weston moves in to put the extras on the board. He's raised the flags. And there's the scoreline, 15-0 in favour of Patrician Brothers Fairfield. This tonight will be a record-breaking 5th Commonwealth Bank Cup success. Bulge over the break upfield, up towards the 22. Support back on the inside, he's gone on his own.
That's play on. That's play on, and it should be a try.
I think Brad Webb's come up with it. Or is it McFarlane again? The replacement player has done what he's done in the quarterfinal, and a good decision.
A magnificent bust from Bolger. He and Kyle White, always the danger men in the back row. Great ball runners for Fairfield, and the ball was knocked down by Sean McClellan. Hud Perkins scrambled to try and tidy it up. He couldn't get there, and the man coming on in 16. He's only been out there for 60 seconds, Dennis McFarlane. First touch of the ball, and he's put down a 4-pointer for Fairfield. A magnificent bust by Scott Bulger. Couldn't find support inside. He continued to carry the ball out wide. There was the ball knocked down again by McClellan. A fumble in the in-goal area, and he puts his stamp on the cup final of 1987, does Dennis McFarlane, in picking up a try. But you can put this one down to the big fella in the back row, Scott Bulger. Got plenty of skills. The pass was knocked down, and poor old Hud Perkins just couldn't get the bounce, and McFarlane celebrates.
Stephen Weston has kicked 1 from 1 so far, taking over the goal-kicking responsibilities for the injured Ivan Trimboli. There's his kick. He struck it well, but he's missed it. So 19-0 the scoreline.
And it's difficult to reflect on a scoreline of 19-0. I'm not about to say or agree with anybody that there's 19 points between these sides. I think that Fairfield probably have the better of the forward clash as far as fitness is concerned. They tired just before the break Keebra Park to allow a very crucial try to go the way of Fairfield, and a great conversion from the sideline that would have broken the back, I'm sure, of Keebra Park. But they just made too many errors, haven't been on their game all night, continually coughed up the ball, and you can't do it in any game, let alone a final.
Hud Perkins, oh gee, that looked as though it may have been offside, and the referee agrees with it. The ball was knocked forward by Hud Perkins into the hands of the left winger Brooke Early.
We just count down now as that siren sounds in the background to wrap up this 1987 Commonwealth Bank Cup final for Fairfield. Their supporters celebrate. The kick is still to come from Steve Weston. The players start to congratulate each other on the field. And our congratulations to Fairfield, but also to Keebra Park from Queensland.
Well, Patrician Brothers Fairfield have claimed that beautiful cup in picture for the 5th time here at the Parramatta Stadium. The first time, in fact, that a Commonwealth Bank Cup has been decided at this beautiful new ground in Sydney. I'm sure the fans have really enjoyed it tonight. The crowd has built up very, very strongly in support of this match. And that's the spoils of victory that you can see right on your screen now. The formality is the icing on the cake. If Steve Weston can kick this goal, he's put it straight between the uprights. And Patrician Brothers Fairfield celebrate a 21-0 victory over Keebra Park of Queensland. And what a great moment for this school, so steeped in rugby league tradition. And a tremendous moment for their captain, Kyle White. Also at the presentation area, Mr. John Quayle, the General Manager of the New South Wales League. There it is, that's what it's all about. Well, what a moment for Patrician Brothers Fairfield. And as an added bonus tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the voting in our man of the match went 3 points to David Daines, 2 to Ivan Trimboli, and 1 to Jason Robertson. which means in fact that the Patrician Brothers Fairfield hooker, David Daines, becomes the man of the series.
And there he is celebrating a magnificent performance by David Daines as he holds the Commonwealth Bank Cup aloft. Our congratulations to Patrician Brothers Fairfield and to their coach who masterminded the win in 1987, Mick Hardis.
But I'm sure that when sides relish this moment, victory, we must also think about the side that will make their way back 500 miles to Queensland. Turned in a gutsy performance tonight. We see Mick Hardis there, the Fairfield coach, enjoying the spoils of victory, but I think we should acknowledge the great performance by Keebra High from Queensland.